It is Brett the Hitman Hart, and you're listening to the Smacked Raw podcast.
What? Okay, well, has this always been a thing? Where have I been?
The forbidden door has been opened. Hey folks, welcome to the Smack Draw podcast. We are your hosts, Kevin Crazy and myself, Kyle Tyson, filling in for Katie Bebe, who lost her last woman standing match with DMD Britt Baker, and she's recovering from that tooth surgery / mandible claw she received.
She ripped out all her wisdom teeth. It was brutal.
It was brutal, man. Blood everywhere. It was a death match.
I got to give props to Katie. She was tough, but she's still a fucking loser.
Yeah, she lost, man. She didn't stand a chance. I mean, that's what happens when you have a woman with no pro wrestling experience take on an actual pro wrestler.
That's
Katie
true.
got her ass
That's
kicked.
very true.
So that's why I'm here. Anyways, yeah, we're a wrestling recap show. Thank you guys for joining us live on twitch.tv/puttingyouover. Make sure to follow them so you never miss a daily stream. And if you do, check us out on youtube.com/SmackedRaw podcast. Hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. Thank you guys for getting us over 200 subscribers. Kev,
I've been putting this over on the show. It's the first time that my son seemed proud of an achievement that I've made. Is when we got to 200 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah, man.
I think he thinks we're famous now or something.
No, we are famous, Kevin. Don't get it twisted. Okay?
Yeah, you're right. Fuck it.
We're about to start having our infighting because our egos are going to surpass the show. And all four of us are going to act like we're the Raw stars on this. When we all know it's really just Katie.
Easy.
But, Kev, man, AEW had just a ground-breaking episode where in one episode of Dynamite, we featured professional wrestlers from AEW.
Everywhere, basically, except for WWE.
We had wrestlers from AEW, wrestlers from Impact, NWA, and officially New Japan.
Oh, my God.
All on the same show, my friend. Free TV.
What? Yeah. What a goddamn moment, too. The ending of Dynamite was
crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I was watching the episode and it was good. It's. I mean, AEW. I don't think they ever put out a bad episode.
Rarely,
but
very rarely.
Nothing was really and I don't want to piss on the show, but nothing was blowing me away. The story beats, everything was moving. It felt very filler, even though it was supposed to be Beach Break, like a special episode. It actually kind of felt more filler.
Really?
To me. Yeah, it did, man. Because there was no conclusions to any stories tonight.
Well, yeah, but I kind of looked at it more as the start of the build in earnest to Revolution.
That is true. It
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but I hear what you mean because they had a special name for it and all that stuff. It's supposed to be kind of a mini pay-per-view. And there wasn't very much closure to anything that happened. I hear you there. That's very true.
The set was good, though. I like the set.
Yeah, it was cool.
But
it really stayed true to the theme. That's for damn sure.
As I got lulled into this false sense of average show, Kenta comes out.
Holy shit!
Kicks down that forbidden door. Gives a GTS to Mox. New Japan Bullet Club has arrived. In AEW, I couldn't be more excited, man.
Oh my God,
not be more excited.
If you're a wrestling fan, how can you not be excited about that? I don't know, man. It was an unprecedented, awesome moment. It was, that's
See, the real question I have is, does D-Rod show up to watch AEW now? Do you think AEW hater D-Rod that this is enough to get this man to turn on Dynamite knowing that, 75% other promotion than AEW, man? He could turn it on, not watch it for AEW. He could turn it on for Impact, New Japan, like we said, or NWA. There's something for everybody now.
Well, the thing is too is like that's what I was thinking to myself. I was like, because New Japan, like, I mean, I haven't watched a lot of it, but I have watched like a handful of events, so I kind of get the vibe and all that sort of thing. They're definitely the most sportsy, of all pro wrestling I've ever watched.
Their presentation is very much centered around portraying a sporting event. From the in-ring style all the way to the press conferences backstage.
Even the way the crowd reacts to certain things is more of a kind of a sports atmosphere type of a thing, like they'll boo disqualification or not like count outs and stuff like that. They're not as nearly as crazy as American crowds either. Holy shit, they're
very well reserved, the audience is, for New Japan, and then they cut loose during the big moments.
There's definitely still pops.
Yeah,
but it's not like it
yeah, jeez, man. But anyways, you guys, shows like this don't really get off the ground unless you're trying to help everybody and you're part of a network, and that's exactly what we do. If you get a chance, head on over to WrestlingNewsWorld.com. These guys are very talented writers over there. They put out great opinion pieces, throwback articles. It's one thing to take in your wrestling content visually and audio-wise, but you got to make sure you read up on it too, and that's what you can get over at WrestlingNewsWorld.com. They're very gracious to allow us to be the exclusive recap show on their website. So yeah, once again, subscribe to their channel, help them out, and help us in turn with that. And then another way you can help us, Kev, tell them about our Patreon.
Well, you go there and you click on a tier and you give us your money, and then we give you stuff based on that tier. That's kind of how it works mechanically, but the tiers are different. You can get stickers and shirts, and maybe we'll put lollipops on there sometime. Who knows? Smack Raw lollipops.
We will not.
Why not?
Look, maybe we will, but we will not. But maybe, but we won't. But maybe.
You're a bad ideas guy. We'll even give you some airtime. We'll put you over, and we'll call you stupid on UWO.
Yes. So speaking of which, the next episode of UWO has been officially booked. Breaking news today on February 13th, a special Putting You Over version of UWO featuring standing streamer Vanessa, Bob, and Bama Dave are all going to be featured on UWO. That's going to be live on February 13th. Exactly what time is still up in the air. I predict probably 9 o'clock.
That's pretty cool. That's like a standing streamer whole show. Like that's the whole.
Pretty much the main crew right there.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, that'll be dope. I'm into that.
Yes. So harking back to Patreon is on our DDT tier for $10 a month. You can actually go ahead, record yourself giving your hot take on pro wrestling, and we'll feature it on UWO and debate, on whether or not your outlandish take has any merit or if it's trash and you should feel bad. So that's patreon.com/SmackDraw Podcast.
The funniest part was I watched the last UWO show. The friggin' opinion that you guys trashed the most had nothing to do with wrestling. It was The Office.
The Office, yeah. That's what got the most heat. Was
for sure
saying The Office was trash.
100%.
Kenny from Your Thoughts murdered Matt Vertigo with
100%
with his reply. You guys have to go check it out. Go hop on our YouTube channel, check out the episode. I believe it's episode 10 of UWO. It's our latest one. We just dropped about a week or two ago. It's good stuff, man. It's really good stuff. All right, man. I think that's everything, right? We plugged, I believe, everything. Let's head on over to the show, Kev. AEW in a whole. We kind of already touched on it. We said it was a pretty decent episode. Yeah,
I mean, I hear what you were saying though. A a lot of open-ended stuff. I mean, stuff moved along, like you were saying. But like I said, too, I feel like it's kind of they're starting to build in earnest towards Revolution, too.
Hell
you know?
No, it didn't even dawn on me till you said that. And that completely makes sense. Is they have a much larger show that they need to build for, so you don't want to conclude too many stories now and then have to try and build new ones between now and Revolution. You can let that ultimately be the climax of a lot of stuff that's going on.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would say that there were a few things that there was more heat, you know, gained in some of the storylines. Certainly now. We know the opponents for the Young Bucks at Revolution, things like that,
Yeah, so that was interesting. Talk about subverting my expectations. I thought it was a lock that the Young Bucks were going to win and call out the Good Brothers.
So did I.
Yeah, I don't know why I was so confident in that. So AEW kicked off with a tag team battle royal consisting of most of the main Dynamite tag teams, along with Inner Circle in its entirety, with the exception of Wardlow. And almost about probably only a quarter way into the match, Matt Jackson was eliminated, and he is the one who actually won the tag team battle royal last year. Yeah, so that kind of put the writing on the wall. Nick Jackson was in it for a while. But really, the story that played out here the most was the tension and seeds of dissension continuing to be sown in the Inner Circle. MJF brilliantly just causing this wedge and divide amongst members. And you saw it play out tonight. You saw it play out. Sammy and Chris Jericho kind of jawing at each other. Sammy attempting to super kick MJF at one point. Ultimately, it did come down to Chris Jericho and then one of the tag team members. Excuse me, I have him for
the Acclaimed, I think.
Yeah, the Acclaimed. I want to say. I'm not sure. Could be them or High Flyers. I kind of missed who it was, but yeah, it ended up being Chris Jericho winning it for his tag team of him and MJF.
Yeah.
It was a decent match, though. It was, I mean, a battle royal is hard to have like a 5-star battle royal because of just how many people, especially a tag team one, how many people are crammed in that ring.
Well, yeah, at the start of it, there were 20 dudes in there.
Yeah.
Literally, it's insane. But there were a couple cool spots. I mean, I definitely enjoyed the Luchasaurus stuff. How many dudes did he eliminate in like 5 seconds? That was dope. Something I think people sleep on with him, and I do too, is like his kicks, his striking ability with his legs is insane.
He's a big boy to be throwing kicks like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had some good stuff. Dark Order continuing to shine as baby faces. Weird to see Dark Order as a babyface team.
Right.
Although if you watch Being the Elite, all they're doing is portraying how they've been portrayed on Being the Elite is this goofy, lovable crew.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Which, like I said, to this day, Kev, you got to tune in. You just got to start watching, man.
But I got a lot of video games to play.
The episodes are only like 20 minutes long. You only get one a week. It's on Mondays. But
we'll see.
Following this, we got a promo package showing off Jade working out. It was okay. And then later on the evening, because she's working out, because it was later announced that her and Shaq Diesel will take on Red Velvet and Cody Rhodes on, surprisingly, the March 3rd episode of Dynamite. Not even on pay-per-view.
Well, this is dumb. I'm not into this at all. This is obviously just because Shaq has that show on freaking TNT, and it's I think it was, or it's going to be on after Dynamite or something like that. Like it
is what it's exactly what WWE's doing with Bad Bunny. They're using somebody's celebrity to help bring new eyes on the product. Like, are you into it? Because personally speaking, this is something I have actually like zero interest in. I don't hate it. I get why it's here, but
yeah,
I'm not all like hyped up to see this match between Cody Rhodes and Shaq.
I'm way more interested to see Jade Cargill and Red Velvet go at it. If I'm being perfectly honest,
They're going to be the ones to carry the match.
Oh,
yeah. Cody and Shaq will have like a couple highlight spots, but as far as the in-ring work, that's going to be Jade and Red Velvet.
It's got to be, right? It's got to be.
You think Shaq's over there? He's going to be bumping and rolling around, doing nip ups.
Oh my god!
You know.
Yeah, I mean, could Cody even like lift half of his body? You know, like,
dude, could Shaq even take a crossroads?
Oh God, no! Are you kidding?
Like, no, there's no way.
It'd be dope if he did, though.
Yeah,
I would pop for that, like so hard. Honestly, it would be worth it for that.
Yeah, man.
No question.
Team Taz drops a promo. I guess they're barred from the arena. Darby Allin and Sting are in the ring. This is very basic. Darby's got a title match next week against Joey Janela, thank you. Yeah. And Team Taz pretty much just insinuates they're going to be there to wreak havoc and then claim that Sting is a shell of himself, which, let's be honest, kind of is. I mean, you're in your 60s, you know. To Sting's reply that he'll be there. Just more build towards the street fight, which I gotta say, that's two downers in a row for me. As excited as I was to see Sting initially, I almost feel like this is too much now. We're traveling over into too much.
I don't know if we're traveling over into too much, but I'll tell you what. That promo that they did last week when they're smashing the windows and stuff, and he's like, I'm a hooligan or whatever the hell it was. I was like, bro, you're 60 years old. Like I said to Katie, I was like, it's the Steve Buscemi meme where he's like, hello, fellow children or whatever the hell it is. That's exactly what it felt like to me. So like, yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me to take Sting seriously because like before that, I thought it was dope. He would just show up and look kind of creepy and fuck off. You know what I mean? But
I think Sting's been too good at promos for his own good now, because Sting is one of the appealing things to him about him is his mystique. Mm-hmm. You know. And when you scrape that away by giving him mic time every week, you scrape that away. You don't really leave much to the mystique anymore because we're hearing who he is week in and week out, and then it kind of comes down to you realize like what you just said,
right?
He's a Steve Buscemi meme. Whereas you use somebody like Jake the Snake, who's on TV regularly, but as like a background object to help accent Lance Archer. Sting's getting more promo time or equal promo time to Darby, which, like I said, I'm just not the biggest fan of. I'm not going to go off the rails and say it's complete garbage.
Right.
But the law of diminishing returns is what it is.
No, absolutely. Well, and here's the difference to me between Sting and Jake the Snake. Jake the Snake had never even insinuated he was going to be in the ring ever in AEW. You know what I mean? Like he was strictly going to be a manager, you know? So like when he was talking shit, it was like he was talking shit like as a manager, not as a wrestler. And it's just kind of hard to take that seriously from Sting.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Speaking of Jake the Snake, there was that hilarious moment in the Battle Royal I forgot about of him clocking somebody. I can't forget who, but Jake the Snake goes ass over tea kettle.
It was awesome.
He genuinely laughs at his own blunder while he pats the kid that he decked. And then you can see in the background as the camera pans away, other wrestlers, I think from like the Gun Club, running up to Jake the Snake and bowing to him. I think that was intended to be like a big jaw-dropping oh my god moment. Jake got physical, but it ended up being comical. I don't think in a bad way.
No. Yeah. I think they saved the moment, but I think you're right. It was
pretty funny. Jake laughing at himself. I can't wait to see it on Botchamania actually.
Oh my god,
because that's definitely going to be featured. Going back to the show, we have the women's match Thunder Rosa taking on Britt Baker. What'd you think of the match?
I liked it for the most part. There were a couple parts that really dragged for me. I love Thunder Rosa, man. Like, I've only seen a few of her matches, but holy shit. Like, I hope she comes to AEW full time, honestly, especially because this feud between her and Britt Baker is fire. Like, there isn't in the women's division in AEW, I don't think there's any more heat than that, other than like Jade Cargill and Brandy Rhodes. And what the fuck are you gonna do with that?
Then you just have Red Velvet by proxy because Brandy's pregnant.
Yeah, exactly. So like that to me is probably the most compelling storyline in the women's division right now.
I agree. Outside of the tournament that was announced.
Yes.
That's about to blow up, man.
Which is going to be so dope. So dope. There's some exciting names in that tournament, honestly.
Yeah, the Thunder Rosa Britt Baker match, it kind of dragged for me too, I ain't gonna lie. But it picked up at the end when you had Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa going back and forth, countering out of the lockjaw. Eventually, you have this weird moment where Reba gets in the ring and just rips off a turnbuckle. It does lead to the conclusion. It was just weird how it went down. But anyways, this did allow Britt Baker to pick up the victory because eventually she was able to throw Rosa headfirst into the turnbuckle and lock in the lockjaw, and Rosa was just out cold. Fun fact: Thunder Rosa was actually open to being on the Smack Draw podcast before AEW, and the only reason I passed on it was because I think because Vince is the one who I believe got her interested, him or Benji.
It was Sebastian.
That's right. And I didn't know anything about her, so I was like, I'll let you interview her because I'm gonna look like a dumbass talking to this wrestler.
Maybe you were trying to hand it off to one of those guys at the time. I don't remember, but it was definitely Sebastian that had contacted her.
Yeah, man. And now look at it. Like, here we are, Thunder Rosa's one of the hottest properties on AEW. Slipped through our fingers.
And NWA, goddammit.
And NWA. God knows.
Probably one of the top 10 women in wrestling right now.
I'll reach out to her again. It can't be as worse. We can't do any worse than Streamer did. Streamer had her on and was like, man, you look exhausted.
He actually said that to her?
Yes, he did. Oh man!
Wow. Yeah. I love Streamer, but that's that.
Gotta love it, man. Wow. Back to the show.
Yeah.
Hangman Page and Matt Hardy tagged together. Matt gave Hangman access to the locker room, and convinced Hangman Page to have a one-off tag team match because Hangman wants no part of friends, factions, tag teams. Hangman just wants to be left alone and to have a locker room to change in so people don't have to see his dingus out in the hallway and shit. So
if you got it, flaunt it, Hangman. Come on. Rock out with your cock out, bro.
Jesus. Anyways. They have a match. Who was the team they took on? They took on Chaos Project, which is Serpentico and Luther, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm. I missed most of this match, if I'm being perfectly honest with you.
You didn't miss much.
I didn't think that I did. I wasn't even really. I mean, I just wasn't. I didn't get it.
Yeah. Even the story that they're trying to weave here, the biggest narrative driving force was commentary. And they were just bringing up that Hangman and Matt Hardy go a ways back, about a decade back when Matt Hardy had his own independent promotion, Omega. And they said that Hangman Page had one of his first matches on that promotion. So I think they're trying to move on to a new story. I think the Dark Order stuff is, as far as I can tell, is behind Hangman. And they're now trying to do something between him and maybe Matt Hardy trying to manipulate him or something. But either way, it is not the easiest to follow. I
mean, I'm not going to call it trash or say that it's shitty or anything like that yet, because it could cook into something really awesome, because I'm digging this Matt Hardy. I know it's something he's done in the past that I've never seen before.
Big Money Matt. Yeah.
But holy shit, is it awesome. I love it.
His stuff, the majority of his storytelling is being done on Being the Elite with him and Private Party.
Oh,
Pretty
really?
much like 60 to 75% of their whole story has played out on Being the Elite.
No shit.
Yeah, between signing them and then signing them to like sketchy contracts.
Yeah.
And then eventually convincing them to turn heel. Like most of that narrative has been told on Being the Elite.
Huh.
Yeah. That's why I said, man. That's why I said it does. Being the Elite kind of fills in some gaps or, just some time that they don't get on the main card. Yeah, even Kev says, Katie says, Kev, honestly, you have to watch BTE, my dude.
Katie, shut up. I got a lot of video games to play.
So there's this women's tournament, Kev, that's coming up.
My God.
Apparently America versus Japan. Although
World War II.
Riho's on the American side. Riho's not American, is she?
I thought she was Japanese.
That's what I was thinking.
I thought, maybe I'm just racist. I don't know.
Riho, born. Where is she from? Riho, according to Wikipedia.
Yeah.
This is all pro wrestling. They usually have what, like your...
Yeah, I don't know. It struck me as strange.
Everything that she's been involved with has been in Japan. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say except for AEW, obviously.
Yeah, but she's part of the build from. She's billed from Japan. She was born. Yeah, and she was born in Japan. Okay, so yeah, she's definitely Japanese. But
that's weird, but whatever. I can pass that, I suppose.
They had to fill. They had slots to fill. Is what they had to do.
Yeah, you're probably right. And they were like, "Well, she was the ex, women's champion. What the hell?"
Yeah, former. Maybe that's how they'll do it. She was a champion here in the States, so that justifies her.
Yeah,
being. Maybe it's wrestlers who wrestle in the U.S.
Right. Yeah, that makes
versus
sense.
Wrestlers who wrestle in Japan instead of actually where they're from.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, we can go with that. Well, anyways, I can't begin to name off all the talent that's on here, but one name particular Twitter started going off is Maki Ito. If I'm saying that correctly, I'm probably not. Don't know much about her, but I'm gonna have to do research. But yeah, apparently when she was announced, she was the final announced participant for Team Japan. She was the final announced one, and then over on Twitter, like every other person was just losing their stuff that she was in here. So apparently she's got quite a following. I'm not familiar with her.
I never heard of her before. I heard a couple names in there where I was like, holy shit, that's cool. Riho was, one of them. I'm excited to see her come back. But Aja Kong was in there.
I'm excited to see Emi Sakura.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, dude, she made me a fan in AEW, that's for sure.
Yeah. Final Fantasy Yuri I can't remember her name.
I know who you're talking about.
But yeah, she looks like a Final Fantasy character.
No, I know who you are talking about because I remember I saw her in one of the first episodes and I was like, where did she go?
But I heard her name too, obviously on the Japan side.
Yes. Oh, now it's gonna bug me. Hold on. It's seriously gonna bug me. I hate it when on the spot can't think of it. But
yeah, even on the American side though, there was some cool names. Britt Baker, obviously. I heard Thunder Rosa.
Yeah.
Nyla
wins has to be the one to dethrone.
Oh, 100%.
100%.
Yeah, not that I don't love Sheeta, but good God, you got to figure out a way to get the belt off of her at this point. It's just been too long.
Yeah, I think that Nyla should have beat her, and then maybe her got her title back. I like her with the belt more than I would like Nyla, but I do feel kind of a certain way with her beating Nyla twice clean back to back. Which, I mean, we complain as wrestling fans. Yuka Sakazaki, thank you, Katie.
Katie, you rule. Now you rule.
Yeah.
You didn't before.
As wrestling fans, we do kind of like get pissy with WWE doing the 50-50 booking. But that's kind of like one that I wouldn't have mind if they had 1-1 or even a trilogy.
Yeah. Oh, a trilogy would have been dope. I would have been really into a trilogy with those guys or those two because, I mean, the matches that they had were dope. They were some of the best women matches in AEW, those championship matches.
Here we go. So I got the names here. I'm going to butcher them, but I'll do it for your entertainment. Okay. So, oh God, this is going to be terrible. Oh, I could just play the audio, and the audio will say the names. Yeah, let's do that.
On the Japanese side, Aja Kong, Yuka Sakazaki, Benny, Emi Sakura, Ryo Mitsunami, Mei Saruga, Rin Tarokara, and Maki Ito.
Maki
On
Ito,
the American side, Serena Deeb.
She's the one that you were talking about, right?
Riho, yeah.
Dr. Britt Baker.
Ty Conti, Dark Horse right
Thunder
there.
Rosa.
Oh, yeah.
Rosa.
Nyla Rose.
Nyla's in it.
Anna Jay. And
Layla Hirsch. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, so there we go.
She could be a dark horse too, Layla Hirsch. I feel like
Layla Hirsch though is tiny. Like
she is pretty
I think
small.
I don't think she's even 5 foot. I think she's shorter than 5 foot. I've seen her wrestle. She's really good.
Thick.
Like, don't get me wrong, she's really good, but it throws me off how small that woman is.
But goddamn, she's like as a technical wrestler though. Holy crap, she's got some skills,
Yeah.
And hell, they turned Rio into a believable champion as far as I'm concerned.
Dude, Rio is fantastic.
Yeah.
Her and Nyla Rose tearing it down was awesome, man.
Oh my God.
4'11" is Layla Hirsch. Thank you, Katie. Once again,
Okay.
Katie is my Jamie to like the Joe Rogan podcast. Yeah, like what Jamie is to Rogan, that's what Katie proves to be for me whenever she's in the chat, man. Because I forget everything, and she's there with Google.
I forget to, man. So I appreciate her.
Damn, I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, yeah. When Riho took on Nyla Rose, I didn't think for a second Riho was getting through Nyla. So when she beat her, that blew my mind.
Well, it blew my mind, and they made it look believable though, too. You know what I mean? Because like the size difference there is a little pronounced, to say the least. But like Rio just finds a way for like just enough to make you want to like totally root for her in the match.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is. She just has that factor about her.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Moving on, probably like one of my favorite segments of the night. Short and sweet, but boy, did it have a lot to it. Was Chris Jericho and MJF not being able to read a room, going to celebrate in front of their inner circle about their number one contendership. Sammy obviously is having his doubts about where Jericho's loyalties lie. Excuse me, Jesus. Sammy walks off. Jericho follows him, and then MJF addresses the room and says, "Boys, I think it's time we talk about some stuff." And then has Wardlow, of course, push us out the damn room. I want to know what went down in that meeting.
Oh, so do I.
Do you think MJF is going to get just Sammy the boot, or do you think he literally destroys the whole inner circle?
Man, I don't know, but this has got to be the literal beginning to the end.
Yes.
Like we've been like kind of afraid of this kind of a thing for probably a couple months now, definitely since MJF joined Inner Circle, no question. And here it is. You know what I mean? I mean, there's gotta, I was thinking that it's gonna trigger like a power struggle between Chris Jericho and MJF on some level, because clearly, the friction between the big story is MJF versus, Sammy Guevara, that friction there. And
I think it's MJF and Jericho.
well, yeah, you're probably right. I mean,
because look at it like this. This is how I see it, is MJF really, after he got put in there, they highlighted all those segments of him being genuine and befriending every individual member of the inner circle. And so he's trying to show up. He won over Santana and Ortiz. He was there for Hager's loss to Wardlow. He's showing up, and you can see that they all did give their moment of like, we don't trust you, but thank you, and he got the seal of approval by everyone except for Sammy Guevara. So Sammy's obviously the odd man out, but the reason why I think the true story is him and Jericho comes down to he's going to use Jericho's ego and everything against him. Like, whereas look who was here for you guys individually. Look who he was here supporting Santana and Ortiz when they lost, I think, their grandmother. You know what I mean? Yeah. Look who was there when Hager lost. Like, Hager is part of your faction, and it was my boy that beat him up, but I was still the one there. Yeah. And I believe he's going to say, get everybody to turn on Jericho, thinking that Jericho is only concerned for himself.
Right.
So that's where I see it going. And then I don't know what he does after. He probably beats Jericho, gets Jericho booted, and then, like, says, fuck everyone. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know either, but, like, I want to know. I want to know where it's going. I got to think that we'll find out at least, like, something at Revolution. I think there'll be, like, a match or something that's going to...
Well, they have the tag match.
Oh, yeah, duh.
Yeah.
Duh.
Jericho and MJF have their tag match against the Bucks.
That's right. Yeah. So I think that's going to play into this somehow.
Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah, but that story is I think the one that grips me the most outside of the obvious conclusion to the show. No.
The inner circle stuff is gold right now. It's gold.
A story that I think nobody is really missing or too excited for is this whole wedding stuff, which, to be fair, it was okay. Like,
it was way better than my expectations. Because, like, I had pretty low expectations for it, and to be honest with you, like, it was a little touching, like a wedding in a dumb, like, frat boy kind of a way, and then, of course, there was the comedic stuff and the goddamn what was the thing, the song the crowd was singing with Miro?
What is love?
Yeah. That was hysterical. I love
the crowd. Was the best part of the segment.
Yeah.
No, the reason why I say, like, I'm not gonna lie to you, Kev. Like, I wasn't into it. I hear you. It's a pro wrestling wedding. They always turn on the ending.
Yeah.
They all play out as the same. They all play out the same.
Absolutely.
So this one shows. You'll have to forgive me. I know the guy who.
Oh, I have no idea who he is.
Who married Penelope Ford and Kip Sabian. He is a former manager. Like, he's like a big time, like, long time legend. I can't tell you for the life of me who he is. I just know I've seen this man. Like, I think he was part of maybe the Dungeon of Doom, I want to say. I'm not sure, though. Is it? I don't know. I'll have to look it up. I want to say it's Sullivan, but I couldn't tell you, honestly. Gun to my head, I could not tell you who it is. But
I can't tell you with a gun to my head or not. So
yeah, but Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford have a very inappropriate wedding. They do manage to get all the way to the part where they are officially married. They got to kiss. They've been married. One funny part before that, though, was when they bring up the whole, if anybody objects, and Miro shut it down. He's like, nobody, been there. we're just gonna skip that. We don't.
That was good.
We don't need Liv Morgan coming out here proclaiming her love for goddamn Penelope. But as Miro gives his toast, he is shackled to a ring post by Chuck Taylor. Chuck, of course, hits Kip, knocks Penelope forward into the cake, who barely gets anything on her face. And then ultimately Orange Cassidy pops out the cake. The good guys beat up the bad guys and embarrass them. And it is, like I said, every other pro wrestling wedding in a nutshell. So
the only reason why I liked it, to be honest, because I hear you. You're totally right. Like, it was formulaic as a motherfucker. But I mean, Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy finally got over on those guys. Yeah, you know,
true.
That was the only real, silver lining. And then
James Mitchell was the officiant. Okay,
there, Katie on the spot again.
Instead of me saying I don't know, I'm just gonna be like, hey, Katie, look this up for me. James Mitchell. Oh, he was on Impact. That's where I seen the guy from. Yeah, he was on Impact. He was on WCW as James Vanderberg. ECW as the Sinister Minister. Okay, and TNA Wrestling under his own name. Okay. So yeah, this, like I said, I knew I've seen this guy before, man.
One other spot I wanted to throw out there that I thought was funny was the present spot where they're like, what is there? Miro's like, what is that box over there? And it had Chuck's name on it.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't trust it. And he beats it up.
Yeah. I like that Miro was playing no nonsense, man. He was in all in all intents and purposes, Miro was being intelligent. Like, the whole segment. But the best part of this segment is it's over. The wedding stuff is over. We never got the damn bachelor party that we were promised.
That would have been cooler, probably.
Probably would have been cooler. Yeah. Anyways.
Well, I feel like that would have been like when Inner Circle did that, like the Hangover segment.
That was good.
They could have done something like that, and that was really dope.
That may have been why they didn't do it.
Maybe.
It probably, would have been too similar. Jericho has actually complained in the past about the right hand not knowing what the left is doing in AEW and having multiple story angles, like similar story angles, play out. I think there was like one episode where it was inner circle, like Death Triangle, and then another faction. Like you had literally 3 factions all trying to recruit people on the same night. So you had literally the same story play out 3 times on one episode of Dynamite. So maybe they're just trying to avoid that stuff.
No, that makes sense. And I mean, that is one of the problems with our ends always pointing out with the inmates running the asylum. Sometimes you do end up
run into that stuff.
Shit. Yeah.
Lance Archer beat Eddie Kingston in a fun lumberjack match. It was okay. What was the tag team? The
Bear Mountain
or something like that. They got a highlight spot putting
Bear something.
Katie, what was the tag team? What was the Bear tag team? They had a cool spot with Butcher and the Blade, putting them through the table and stuff. So I
like the look of them too. It was just
some Hoss boys, some just throwback Hosses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Hosses.
Yes. Earlier, by the way, Katie had a really good reply as far as the tag match at Revolution. Mm-hmm. She believes that Sammy Guevara is going to cost him the match, cost Jericho and MJF. Yeah. I think that's probably exactly what'll happen.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I could totally see that happening. In fact, I'm into that, really. If they're gonna break up the fucking Inner Circle, they might as well do it with a bang,
Oh man. Well, Sammy's gonna be turning babyface.
Oh, I would even argue almost that he is already on some level.
He's gonna be interesting as a babyface. Bear Country, thank you.
There you go. Yeah, Bear Country. That's totally right.
All right. She says she's not even sure. I'm just going to say it is right.
We'll give you credit this time.
Do you guys buy Sammy? I'm talking to the audience. Do you guys buy Sammy as a face? Like, I like him. Like, I have no problem with Sammy Guevara, but he seems to always have, like, he's too good looking. Like, in the sense,
right.
And he's young and arrogant, everything you would be if you were like sex god, like Sammy Guevara. That's got to be hard to be a babyface. When
I don't know, man. I think I almost would prefer him as a babyface. Like with the stuff that's been going on lately, like especially with the the MJF mini feud or whatever. He's an easy dude to root for, It's
I don't know, man. I don't know if it's the smark in me. I don't want to see Inner Circle break up. I don't want to see this dissension. I like the idea of like a strong, funny heel faction.
No. I don't want it in spite of the Inner Circle, but if we have to have Inner Circle go away, I'd be really into a baby face. And
there is the saying, you gotta go out leaving them wanting more instead of being, fade away into obscurity. So that's the unfortunate part when it comes down to breaking up tag teams and factions. The best time to do it is while they're hot, not after people have gotten bored with them or they've gotten stale. So that's the unfortunate truth about stuff like that.
No, absolutely. And like you were saying too, I mean, other than the Impact and New Japan, NWA stuff, this is the best thing AEW probably has going. Yeah. So like it makes sense that they would do something like super shocking with it now,
Yeah. Could you imagine like New Japan bringing over Bullet Club and then them just squashing Inner Circle? What an impact that could be. No pun intended for Impact. But yeah, like Inner Circle's already on the rocks, and so you get like a faction versus faction, New Japan Bullet Club and Inner Circle, and they just get stomped. All of them get stomped.
Oh, I could absolutely see that happening.
Yeah, I don't think it will.
No,
but I would love to see that play out because that's how you put over New Japan is just have them wreck the faction that's on its way out. That might be. We don't know.
That would be some really really cool booking though, but who knows?
It'd be interesting, man. Yeah. FTR pissed off that because of their antics last week, they weren't allowed in the tag team battle royale. They do the sensible thing and kidnap Marco Stunt.
It was kind of creepy.
I'm not gonna lie, it had some rapey vibes.
It was creepy. It was creepy as fuck, if I'm being honest.
Who's the manager again? I don't know why his name's fleeting me.
Tully Blanchard?
Huh?
Tully Blanchard?
Thank you. I don't know why I was blanking on it.
But no, I mean, it makes sense though. It's definitely a super heel thing to do. And I like this feud between Jurassic Express and FTR. I mean, the match that what was it, Dax Hardwood and
Jungle Boy.
Yeah, that match was
good.
Fire. Yeah. So I mean, give me more of this. Turn the heat up on this, definitely.
I like their line. They said, "We are not bad men, but we have to ask ourselves, what would bad men do?" It's like, oh my god! And then they pan to like a tied up Marco Stunt, Tully Blanchard, like breathing on him over.
It almost kind of reminded me of a scene from like fucking Breaking Bad or something. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, it was. Yeah, so with weird kidnapping angles, is Marco Stunt gonna be kidnapped for the entire week? Do we show
is he
up?
Literally in a basement, or just when Dynamite's on?
Do we show up next week and he's just got like he's just filthy and just been sitting locked to a chair for a week straight? I don't know, man.
Or does he like just show up back to work and he's like, yeah, I had a good week, kids are good. I'll get tied back up, and
they let me go under the promise I come back, in time for taping. Stupid. Anyways, then we kick off the main event. This is what everybody was hyped for. The main event, 6-man tag. Ray Phoenix, Mox, and Pac taking on Omega and the Good Brothers. They had a good 6-man tag match. It was a decent match. The real story came after the match.
That's the thing with Dynamite. I think tonight, generally speaking, everything was outshined by the ending.
Yeah,
everything was outshined by the ending.
This is literally going to be the only thing people are talking about this episode.
Oh yeah. How can you not? It's huge. It was huge, man.
So the match plays out. The Good Brothers deliver the Magic Killer to Ray Phoenix to pick up the win for their team. Afterwards, they do like a post-match beatdown on everybody. Lance Archer, of all people, runs off everybody in the ring, and this looks like it's going to give Moxley the upper hand to attack Omega. When Moxley is clocked by some masked assailant out of nowhere who unmasks himself to be Kenta, the number one contender for the NJPD United States Championship. He holds the briefcase. He delivered a GTS to Jon Moxley. The Forbidden Door got kicked in by Kenta. And now we can talk Bullet Club versus the Elite. Okada showing up. Kota Ibushi taking on Omega, the Golden Lovers. God dang, there's so many possibilities now with the working relationship. Not to mention, you got, like I said, Impact in on this in NWA. Let's not take away from them. But we would be lying if the moment AEW wasn't formed, people were clamoring for a working relationship between them and New Japan. They just there's so much history between all the workers, the style of in-ring competition that they put on. It blends so perfectly, man.
Well, just the the fact that Young Bucks and Kenny Omega are like executives in the company, like they've got to have at least some kind of relationship. Still, I would think with some of the people there. I mean, obviously,
man, Bullet Club versus the Elite is
gimme.
Good God. Because online, so I don't know how much you've been following it, but online, Tama Tonga has been trashing this reunion along with Kenta, and along with Switchblade.
He just re-signed with New Japan, right?
Yeah, he's officially back. They had his whole thing where he's back,
so he could be in the mix for shit too.
Well, I think the safest bet is going to be Switchblade, obviously Kenta, and the Gorillas of Destiny, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa. Hope I got the names right. In them taking on, you have the Young Bucks, Good Brothers. Don't know where Kenny falls in this. I think you would put the leader against leader. I want to say the current leader of Bullet Club is still Switchblade. I want to say.
I have no idea.
Man, dude, it's mind-boggling the possibilities that we have now. If we do actually truly have a working relationship, dream matches, story angles, everything is just fantastic.
Oh my God. Like when they first started the working relationship with Impact, I was like, this is huge. I mean, not that that's unprecedented in the wrestling world, but I was like, dude, like AEW spreading it around, in that kind of a way. Look at what they've done for those Impact stars. Just, you look at the numbers of Impact after Don Callis and Kenny Omega stole the belt or whatever. Like they're blowing up, Thunder Rosa is like a household name almost, you know what I mean? Like Serena Deeb too,
Yeah, look what Deeb has been able to. She's come back and now she's in that tournament. She's the current NWA Women's Champion, and now she's in a tournament to go after the AEW Women's Championship. That's pretty dope.
That would be. I mean, she could win it too.
Yeah. Oh man, AEW really. It's funny. It's kind of like the tournament. you put on this whole show, but really what it was is the official announcement of the number one contendership tournament, and then of course New Japan showing up has just blown the doors wide open on the possibilities of what we can see on Dynamite and AEW now going forward, and vice versa. New Japan, who's launching their own American-based promotion, you know, that means we could have people coming over there as well. You gotta love it, man. You gotta love it.
I love it too. When they first announced the eliminator tournament for the women, and they said it was going to be USA versus Japan, like I was like, is this some kind of teaser? You know what I mean? Maybe I'm reading into that too much, but like maybe it was. I don't know.
Yeah. I know I got to look up Maki Ito, though. I have to look up her. As much hype as around her. I got to look it up. But you guys, let us know what you think in the comments. What are some fantasy matches that you would book with all of these companies working together now? Do you think that they're going to rival WWE? Just all this general chat. Let us know what you think in the comments. Hit us up on Twitter at SmackDrawPod, myself at The Kai Tai Show. Of course, Kevin at Kevin Crazy.
Whoa.
Kevin, man.
Sorry, the cat jumped up there, scared the shit out of me.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Like always, until next time, y'all have a good one. Yeah, okay. I just want to let you guys know.